Hey everybody, it's Josh and Tammy, another episode of the Paranormal Exploring Project. So we're in a location where we spent probably about, 45 minutes driving?
Yeah.
And Tammy has no idea where we're at. You didn't even see any signs when we pulled in, right?
No, just an old rundown building.
Yeah, there's an old rundown building up here. We can actually walk up to it.
Yeah.
Are you feeling anything right now of where we're at? Because you were almost, not literally, but almost blindfolded coming up here. You had no idea.
There's buildings that used to be here that's not here. I don't think that used to be the only building here. Like a residence or something.
There could have been. It goes way further back than that.
So this was military somehow. How is it military?
I'll say you're getting warmer.
It's military, but like a famous military. Right? And a famous, but okay, that doesn't make sense. So you have famous military. Did they have like a revolt here too? Like, did they stand up against a military person here?
You're right on the right track.
Okay.
With where you're at.
Then, so I hear like drumming, so that means Native American, but Native American didn't live here, but they were here because of the military?
Wow.
Did they capture some and bring them here or something?
Do you want the full story? Or do you want to walk around a little bit while you're... Let's keep going.
There's a building that's gone from a long time ago that housed a famous person is all I know.
That part I don't know about.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I seen the river, but was that big enough for ships? Like, is there shipwrecked people here?
I don't know about that. I mean, there could have been as part of what you're seeing.
Has there been rumors of people who died on ships here? House doesn't have anything on it, so when we pulled in I had no clue where we were.
Yeah, let me show you where we're at here, which I'm surprised because when I looked this location up, and I don't live very far from here, and I actually used to work in this town. Guys, we're in Monroe, Michigan is where we're at right now, and I used to work in Monroe, but I never really actually came into town a whole lot. And the last I saw this, I'm surprised to see this like this because I was actually looking it up online when I was brainstorming areas to go.
A lot of sketchy places.
I didn't think that this was going to be all boarded up like this. And honestly, it's pretty run down. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's like a homeless guy sleeping over there on the bench. Yeah. I don't know that this house has much significance.
Yeah, I feel like there's a building that's gone, a house that's been torn down that would have housed what I'm looking for.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, for the significance of this location where we're at, I am really disappointed to see that this...
So I'm right on it being something famous.
It's part of something that was super famous. Infamous, maybe.
Like a Last Stand?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
This is a part of the War of 1812. It's one of the only battlefields that's around that commemorates the War of 1812.
It was a battle, but I also feel like that the military, like, fought. I don't know. You know how we have protests today? I don't know what they would have called it back then. An uprising. I almost feel like there was a uprising against the military people here.
The River Raisin Battlefield is the only national battlefield marking the site of the War of 1812. 397 Americans were killed and 547 were taken prisoner after surrendering to the British Army and Native American coalition during the War of 1812. You could say that the Native Americans stood up against the Americans with the British. This was the deadliest conflict ever on Michigan soil and the worst single defeat the Americans suffered in the entirety of the War of 1812. The day after the battle, dozens of captured Americans, too wounded to walk, were killed. People have experienced images of soldiers and recorded voices. Orbs and strange lights have been seen at night. One investigator said the first time he stepped on the field, he felt depressed. He further went on to say he felt like he was in a sense of daydreaming the entire time he was on the field. Others have heard screaming and chanting, and volunteers, I believe this house over here that we were just at, that was the information center. Volunteers reported hearing strange noises in the visitor center after it closes, thinking it was an intruder or animal. They set up traps but never found anything. And that is what that was. That's why I'm shocked we're on such a historic site and the visitor center's closed.
Well, not only closed,
but... I mean, the entire property looks like it's... Look at these picnic tables we're on.
Yeah.
I don't know, you want to walk the field a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, let's
I
go.
want to read some of them signs.
The Battle of River Raisin. Describing the American victory of January 18th, 1813, Captain Jack. You guys can pause if you want to read this.
Okay.
So it looks like that may take us out of the battlefield, or is that, all this is part of the battlefield. This is creepy, man. So what's crazy is in the research that I did, it said anybody who was too wounded to move, the British executed them right here on the battlefield.
No matter, and there's another battlefield here, so no matter who they were.
You see the flag over there. Wow, there's some stuff going on over here. This is interesting. This would be the battlefield.
And it's right across from that bridge that I thought was so cool.
Yeah. So the road and the river is right over there. And yet another hot day in the sun. That's 1st District Court. What's that?
That's the residence of the famous person that used to be here that's gone.
Here in the log house.
And it housed wounded Americans.
Huh. And it's not here anymore.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a house that because I felt like there was a house that should be something to do with someone really famous and about. It was very emotional walking through there. Like not word emotional, just like you just start crying and weeping.
The heavy feeling that that guy described.
Yeah, just crying. Like I just started crying. I don't know.
Let's go on the other side there.
Yeah. I just want to see what this guy's doing. There's a reason we walked over there. I bet that's the house that I said I felt like housed a famous person.
Yeah.
Wasn't connected directly to this place. Remember I said it's like a famous person, but it wouldn't have been this place.
Well, yeah, and his house wouldn't be here on the battlefield.
Yeah.
The only information that I had was the little research that I did just to give us enough to get an idea of where we're at.
Well, that sign answered the house though.
Yeah.
And the connection to this place without being in this place, but being part of this place. Because the house was built before the fight, before the massacre, and then it was used to house the people. And he was the first one appointed by Thomas Jefferson, it said.
Yeah.
So that would make him very famous.
In this vicinity and parallel to the driveway, a line of scattered human remains were detected in 2000. That's not that long ago.
No. So that's probably why when we walked straight through.
Yeah. So right straight around.
Yeah. Why I was crying.
Hey everybody, back at home base, and I know that this week's video wasn't on par with all of our other paranormal exploring videos. Remember, we're paranormal exploring. That means we explore stuff and don't just do all these investigations that some of the other channels do. But I thought it was important to feature what we had today because not everybody knows about the heaviness of the River Raisin massacre, which is what you just heard about. And we wanted to feature this video this week because Tammy's gift is on full display with this exploration video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're ever around the Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan area, make sure you mark the River Raisin Battlefield as a place to visit. It's very cool. Maybe go out there a little bit later at night. I'm not sure if you're allowed out there past dark, so don't quote me on that, but you could always take a few things out there, see if you can get some EVP, see some of those mystery lights. But in general, the overall feel of this place is insanely sad, and of course, Tammy was able to pick up on all of that. By the way, do you remember the rundown building we had at the very beginning of the video? Good news, we were completely wrong with where the visitor center was. Check it out. We were driving around Monroe a little bit and I did a Google search and I saw something that looked completely different than the visitor center we were at, that old dilapidated building,
Yes.
right? Which is right across, over that way, across those railroad tracks where the battlefield was at. Well, apparently this is the new visitor center.
Which makes my heart happy.
Yeah, it's still though,